You wake up, go to work, get paid, pay your bills, and repeat. Month after month, year after year. This is the time for money trap. And if you don't escape it, you'll spend your entire life working just to survive. Most people believe that working harder is the key to financial success. They think that putting in extra hours, getting a raise, or landing a higher paying job will finally bring them financial security. But here's the harsh truth. If your income stops the moment you stop working, you are not financially free. You are financially trapped. Seneca warned us about this long ago. Wealth is the slave of the wise man, the master of the fool. If your only source of income is a paycheck, you are not in control of your financial life. Your employer is. The moment you can't work, whether due to illness, job loss, or retirement, you lose everything. The paycheck illusion. Why working harder won't make you. Most people assume that if they just earn more, they will eventually escape the rat race. But that's an illusion. A higher salary doesn't automatically lead to wealth. It often leads to higher spending, bigger debt, and even greater dependence on a paycheck. Think about it. How many people do you know who earn six figures but are still financially stressed? They have the house, the car, the vacations, but no real financial security. That's because their lifestyle has expanded with their income. They are not wealthy, they are just running faster on the same treadmill. The trap of trading. Time for money. The problem with relying on a paycheck is that your time is limited. No matter how much you work, you can't create more than 24 hours in a day. If all your income is tied to your working hours, your financial potential is capped. If you stop working, your income stops. If your expenses rise, you have to work more hours. If you want more freedom, you have to sacrifice your financial stability. This is not financial independence, this is financial slavery. A Stoic understands that the key to true wealth is not working harder, it's working smarter. The Stoic path to escaping the time for money trap. A Stoic does not rely on luck or endless work. They rely on strategy and discipline. The key to escaping the paycheck cycle is to build financial independence step by step, by focusing on income that is not dependent on your time. Shift your mindset from worker to owner. Most people work for someone else their entire lives, making their employers rich. But a Stoic understands that real financial power comes from ownership. If you work for a company, you are dependent on them. If you own shares in a company, they work for you. Instead of just earning a paycheck, the wealthy acquire ownership. They invest in stocks, real estate, or businesses that grow in value and generate passive income. Build multiple streams of income. If all your income comes from one job, you are financially vulnerable. The Stoic approach is to diversify your income so that no single event can ruin you. Investments, stocks, index funds, and real estate that generate passive income. Side businesses, digital products, rental properties, or online businesses that keep earning even when you're not working. Automated income, creating something once like a book, a course, or a rental property that pays you forever. A Stoic asks, how can I earn money without constantly trading my time? The answer lies in assets, not just effort. Spend less than you earn and invest. The rest. Many people inflate their lifestyle the moment they start making more money. They upgrade their car, move into a bigger house, and take more expensive vacations, keeping them dependent on their paycheck. The Stoic solution? Live below your means and invest aggressively. If you make $5,000 a month but need $4,900 to survive, you are not wealthy, you are trapped. If you make $5,000 and only need $2,500, you are building freedom. Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Every unnecessary expense you eliminate is a step toward financial freedom. Automate your financial independence. Wealthy people don't rely on willpower, they build systems. A Stoic structures their financial life so that wealth building happens automatically. Automate savings and investments. Treat it like a bill you must pay. Set up passive income streams. Let money flow in without needing constant effort. Create a financial plan. Decide now what you will do with your money. Don't leave it to chance. By automating, you create a system where financial success happens without constant decision-making. Final thought. The real measure of wealth is time, not money. Most people believe wealth is about how much money you have. That's wrong. True wealth is about how much control you have over your time. If you need to work every day just to survive, you are not free, no matter how much you earn. If you have income that continues even when you stop working, you are financially independent. Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions." If your only ambition is to earn a paycheck, you will always be stuck in the system. But if your ambition is to build a life where money works for you, financial freedom becomes inevitable. The question is, will you keep trading your time for money forever? Or will you start building a future where your money works for you? Most people believe that if they could just make more money, all their financial problems would disappear. They think a higher salary, a better job, or a successful side hustle will finally bring them financial security. But here's the harsh truth. More income won't save you if your spending habits remain the same. If you don't control your money, it doesn't matter how much you make, you will always feel like it's never enough. Seneca warned, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This means that financial struggle is not just about low income. It's about poor money management, lack of discipline, and an endless desire for more. No matter how much you earn, if you increase your expenses just as fast, you will always live paycheck to paycheck. The income illusion. Why earning more won't fix your finances. Many people believe that a higher salary is the key to financial stability. But look around. Plenty of people earning six figures are still broke. They live in big houses, drive expensive cars, and take luxury vacations, yet they have nothing saved. Why? Because they spend everything they make. Their income goes up, but so do their expenses. This is called lifestyle inflation, the habit of increasing spending as income rises. Instead of using extra money to build wealth, most people use it to upgrade their lifestyle. A bigger paycheck means a bigger house, a newer car, more expensive clothes. They tell themselves, "I deserve this." But what they are really doing is keeping themselves trapped in financial dependency. The problem with lifestyle inflation is that it creates permanent financial pressure. The more you increase your expenses, the harder you have to work to maintain them. Your paycheck might be bigger, but your freedom remains the same, or even worse, decreases. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. If you let your desires dictate your spending, you will never feel financially secure, no matter how much you earn. Why poor money habits are more dangerous than low income? Most people assume that the reason they struggle financially is that they don't make enough money. But the reality is, even people with average salaries can build wealth, if they manage their money correctly. The problem isn't low income, it's spending without a plan. If you don't track where your money goes, it will always seem like you don't have enough. Impulse purchases, buying things for short-term pleasure instead of long-term financial security. Not saving or investing, keeping all your money in a checking account instead of making it work for you. Using debt as an income extension, relying on credit cards and loans instead of living within your means. The Stoic approach is simple: control your spending first, then increase your income. If you don't have discipline with a small paycheck, you won't have discipline with a big one either. The Stoic solution: mastering money before it masters. A Stoic doesn't measure wealth by income. They measure it by control over their finances. Instead of letting higher earnings lead to higher expenses, they use money as a tool for freedom. Here's how to escape the income illusion and build real financial stability. Live below your means, no matter how much you make. The fastest way to gain financial power is to spend less than you earn and save the difference. If you get a raise instead of increasing your expenses, keep your lifestyle the same and invest the extra money. If you make $50,000 and live on $40,000, you have freedom. If you make $150,000 and live on $150,000, you are still financially trapped. A Stoic understands that money does not equal freedom. Financial discipline does. The lower your financial needs, the more power you have over your life. Automate wealth building before spending. Most people pay their bills, buy what they want, and then try to save whatever is left. That's why they never save. The Stoic way is the opposite. Save first. Set up automatic savings so that a percentage of every paycheck goes directly to investments and emergency funds. Invest consistently. Put money into stocks, index funds, or real estate before you even think about spending. Spend only what remains. If you don't see the money, you won't be tempted to waste it. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The more you automate your wealth building, the less temptation you have to waste money on things that don't truly matter. 3. Destroy debt. Before it destroys you, higher income often leads to more debt because people feel comfortable taking on bigger loans. But every loan you take reduces your future freedom. If your paycheck is already committed to mortgage payments, car loans, and credit cards, your financial situation hasn't improved. It's just changed form. The Stoic approach? Get aggressive about eliminating debt. Pay off high-interest debt first. Credit cards, personal loans, and payday loans should be eliminated as quickly as possible. Avoid financing anything that loses value. Cars, electronics, and luxury items are not worth going into debt for. Refuse to upgrade your lifestyle just because you can. Just because the bank says you can afford a bigger loan doesn't mean you should take it. Focus on wealth, not status. One of the biggest reasons people stay broke, even with high income, is because they try to look rich instead of becoming rich. They spend money on cars, designer clothes, and expensive vacations just to impress others. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. A Stoic doesn't waste money on status symbols. They spend on things that increase financial security, not social validation. Instead of buying things to impress, they invest in education and skills that increase their earning potential. Buy assets that generate income instead of liabilities that drain wealth. Prioritize financial freedom over temporary luxuries. Build a financial buffer to escape dependence. The ultimate goal of money is not to buy more things, it's to buy freedom. If you have money saved, invested, and growing, you have options. You can walk away from a toxic job without fear. Take time off to pursue passions and personal growth. Make decisions based on values, not financial desperation. The Stoic way is to always prepare for the unexpected. Life is unpredictable, but those who plan ahead are never caught off guard. Final thought. More money won't fix bad financial habits. If you believe that a bigger paycheck will solve your problems, you are thinking like a financial victim. Money is a tool. It can either trap you in endless spending or set you free. The difference lies in how you manage it. A Stoic understands that wealth is not about making more. It's about controlling what you already have. If you don't have financial discipline now, you won't have it when you earn more. But if you master your money habits today, no matter your income level, you are already on the path to financial freedom. The question is, will you take control of your money, or will you keep running in circles waiting for a bigger paycheck to save you? Debt is one of the biggest financial traps people fall into, yet society convinces us that it's completely normal. We are told that we need a mortgage to buy a home, a car loan to drive something reliable, and student loans to get a degree. Credit cards are marketed as tools for convenience, even though they are designed to keep people in a cycle of endless payments. The truth is, debt is not normal. It's a financial prison that keeps you working just to survive. Seneca warned, "Debt is the slavery of the free." The moment you owe money, your paycheck is no longer fully yours. Before you even receive your income, large portions of it are already spoken for. Your rent or mortgage, your car loan, your student loans, your credit card payments. You are working not to build wealth, but to pay off money you've already spent. This is how financial dependency is created, not by low income, but by high obligations. The lie that debt is necessary. One of the biggest financial myths is that some debt is good debt. While it's true that not all debt is equally bad, any debt that forces you to keep working just to maintain your lifestyle is a trap. Many people take on massive mortgages, believing that real estate is always a good investment. Others finance expensive cars, thinking they deserve a reward for their hard work. Some justify student loan debt as an investment in their future. But here's the truth. A mortgage that's too large keeps you chained to your job for decades. A car loan forces you to make payments on a depreciating asset. A student loan can delay financial independence for years, even decades. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. If your financial security depends on keeping up with loan payments, you are not in control. Your lenders are. How debt steals your freedom. Debt is often disguised as a tool for opportunity, but in reality it robs you of options. The more debt you have, the fewer choices you have in life. You can't take risks. If you have a massive mortgage and car payment, you can't afford to quit your job, start a business, or switch careers. You can't build wealth. Every dollar spent on interest is a dollar that could have been saved or invested. You live in constant financial stress. The burden of monthly payments keeps people anxious and stuck in survival mode. Most people don't realize the true cost of debt because they only look at the monthly payment. They think, I can afford $500 a month for this car. But what they don't see is how much money they are truly giving away. For example, a $30,000 car loan at 6% interest over 5 years actually costs $34,799. You just paid nearly $5,000 in extra costs. A $300,000 mortgage at 5% over 30 years will cost $580,000 by the time it's fully paid off. A $5,000 credit card balance at 20% interest can take years to pay off if you only make minimum payments. These numbers show that debt is not just a financial burden. It's a wealth destroyer. While you are making payments, your lenders are getting richer. The Stoic solution: escape the debt trap. Stoic understands that freedom is more valuable than luxury. They would rather own a used car outright than lease a luxury car. They would rather live in a smaller, affordable home than be house poor. The goal is not to impress others, but to create a life where money works for you, not the other way around. Here's how to systematically eliminate debt and stay out of it for good. Stop taking on new debt. Most people stay in debt because they keep adding more. The first step to financial freedom is to stop borrowing money for things you don't absolutely need. Delay major purchases until you can afford them in cash. Avoid financing anything that loses value. If you need to borrow to buy a car, you are buying more car than you can afford. Refuse lifestyle inflation. Just because you can qualify for a bigger mortgage or a new credit card doesn't mean you should take it. A Stoic does not let short-term desires control their financial decisions. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Instead of asking, "Can I afford the payment?" ask, "Can I afford the full price without financing?" Boo. Attack your debt. Like an emergency, most people make only the minimum payments on their debt, which is why they stay in debt for decades. A Stoic treats debt like a financial emergency. The goal is to eliminate it as fast as possible. List all your debts from smallest to largest. Pay off the smallest first to build momentum. Throw every extra dollar at debt. Cut unnecessary expenses. Stop wasting money on luxuries and direct all surplus cash toward getting debt-free. Consider extreme measures if necessary. Some people downsize their home, sell their car, or take on extra work to eliminate debt faster. The faster you clear it, the faster you regain control of your life. Live on less to gain more. Most people inflate their lifestyle the moment they start earning more. They assume that higher income means they can afford more. But that thinking keeps them stuck in the debt cycle. A Stoic does the opposite. They keep expenses low, even when income increases. Drive a car you can afford outright. A reliable used car with no payment is worth more than a financed luxury vehicle. Live in a home that fits your needs, not your ego. A smaller house with no mortgage gives you more financial flexibility than a mansion that owns you. Cut unnecessary spending. Every subscription, impulse purchase, or luxury item is stealing from your future financial freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A simple life is possible for you. Financial simplicity is the fastest way to wealth. Once you're free, stay free." Many people pay off their debt only to go right back into it. True financial freedom is not just about escaping debt. It's about never falling back into the trap. Always live below your means. Never finance something you don't absolutely need. Keep your expenses as low as possible, no matter how much you earn. Final thought. Choose freedom over payments. Most people stay in debt not because they have to, but because they choose to. They choose convenience over discipline. They choose comfort over control. But a Stoic chooses differently. A Stoic chooses freedom over lifestyle inflation, simplicity over debt, independence over financial stress. True wealth isn't about having more, it's about needing less. The moment you owe nothing to anyone, you gain power over your own life. The question is, are you willing to break free, or will you keep trading your freedom for monthly payments? Most people don't realize how much money they waste on a daily basis. They swipe their credit cards, subscribe to services they barely use, and buy things they don't need, all without thinking about the long-term consequences. This is one of the biggest reasons why so many people stay broke despite having a steady income. Money isn't disappearing, it's being drained by mindless spending. The problem isn't just small purchases, it's the financial habits that accumulate over time, leading to a life of stress, debt, and financial instability. One of the main reasons people fail to build wealth is that they do not track their spending. Most people assume they have a rough idea of where their money goes, but when they actually review their expenses, they are shocked by the amount they waste. They spend money on things they don't even remember buying. Daily coffee runs, takeout, meals on used gym memberships, impulse purchases, and overpriced subscriptions. These seem like small expenses, but when added up over a year, they amount to thousands of dollars that could have been saved, invested, or used for something meaningful. Another financial mistake is justifying purchases by convincing themselves they deserve it. Many people spend emotionally. They buy things when they are bored, stressed, or looking for a quick boost of happiness. This leads to unnecessary purchases that provide temporary satisfaction but long-term financial regret. Social media and advertising fuel this by making people feel like they are missing out if they don't keep up with trends, new gadgets, or luxury brands. However, buying things to impress others or to fill an emotional void never leads to lasting happiness. Instead, it leads to more stress when the bills arrive. Impulse spending is another silent killer of financial progress. People often make purchases without pausing to ask themselves if they truly need the item. The instant gratification of buying something new is addictive, and marketers know this. That's why sales, discounts, and limited-time offers are so effective. They create a sense of urgency that tricks people into spending money impulsively. But a Stoic understands the importance of self-control. Instead of making decisions based on emotions, they take a step back and ask themselves if the purchase aligns with their financial goals. A simple rule to follow is the 24-hour rule. Before making any non-essential purchase, wait a full day. Most of the time, you'll realize you didn't need it in the first place. Lifestyle inflation is another major problem. Many people increase their spending as soon as they start making more money. Instead of using their higher income to build wealth, they upgrade their car, move into a bigger house, or start eating out more frequently. This keeps them stuck in a financial cycle where they always feel like they need to earn more just to keep up with their lifestyle. A Stoic does the opposite. They understand that financial freedom is achieved not by increasing income alone, but by controlling expenses. No matter how much they earn, they focus on keeping their lifestyle simple and their spending disciplined. One of the best ways to combat mindless spending is to create a spending plan instead of just budgeting. Most people see budgets as restrictive, but a spending plan shifts the focus. Instead of thinking, "I can't spend money on this," a spending plan asks, "Where do I actually want my money to go?" This approach allows you to spend on things that truly matter while cutting out wasteful expenses. When you are intentional with your spending, every dollar has a purpose and you no longer feel the need to spend mindlessly. Another effective method is tracking every single expense for 30 days. Most people don't realize how much they are wasting until they see it written down. By tracking expenses, you become more aware of where your money is going and can start making better financial decisions. The goal is not to eliminate all spending, but to become more conscious of it. Financial discipline is not about deprivation. It's about ensuring that your money is working for you instead of against you. Breaking free from mindless spending also requires shifting your mindset from consumer to investor. Instead of seeing money as something to be spent, start seeing it as a tool for building wealth. Every dollar spent on unnecessary purchases is a dollar that could have been invested in your future. Imagine if instead of wasting money on small, meaningless purchases, you invested that money consistently. Over time, the impact of compounding could turn small amounts into financial security. The key is to focus on long-term goals instead of short-term pleasures. Another major problem with uncontrolled spending is that it leads to financial stress and regret. Many people don't realize how much financial anxiety comes from poor money management. They spend freely, then panic when bills are due or when they don't have enough savings to cover an emergency. This cycle creates unnecessary stress, and the worst part is that it is entirely avoidable. A Stoic understands that true peace of mind comes from financial control. When you know where your money is going, you don't have to worry about unexpected expenses or financial emergencies. In the end, the difference between those who achieve financial freedom and those who remain stuck is not just income, it's financial awareness. The people who become wealthy are not the ones who earn the most, but the ones who manage their money with discipline. Eliminating mindless spending is one of the easiest ways to start building wealth without having to earn more. The question is not whether you make enough money, it's whether you are using your money wisely. The sooner you take control of your spending, the sooner you can start building a future of financial independence. Many people believe that saving money is enough to secure their financial future, but they fail to understand that simply keeping money in a bank account is not a strategy for long-term wealth. If you are not investing, you are guaranteeing that you will work for money for the rest of your life. Inflation slowly eats away at savings, making cash less valuable over time. The only way to escape the cycle of working endlessly for a paycheck is to make your money work for you. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that investing is only for the wealthy. They assume they need a large amount of money to get started or believe that investing is too risky. As a result, they keep their money in a savings account where it earns little to no interest. Meanwhile, inflation continues to rise, making everything more expensive and reducing the value of the money they have worked so hard to save. Over time, this erodes their purchasing power, leaving them financially vulnerable despite their efforts to be responsible with money. Many people avoid investing because of fear. They have heard stories of stock market crashes and people losing money, so they assume it's safer to keep their cash in a bank. But this fear-based thinking is what keeps people financially stuck. History has proven that over the long term, investing in assets like stocks, real estate, and businesses leads to wealth. While markets fluctuate, they have always grown over time. The real risk is not investing at all. Avoiding investing is like refusing to plant seeds because you are afraid of bad weather. It ensures that nothing grows. Another reason people don't invest is that they assume they will always have time to start later. They focus on short-term expenses and tell themselves they will begin investing once they make more money. But delaying investing is one of the biggest financial mistakes you can make. The power of investing comes from compounding, where money grows over time. The earlier you start, the more your investments can multiply. Someone who invests $200 per month starting at age 25 can end up with more money than someone who invests $500 per month but starts at 40. The amount invested matters less than the time it has to grow. One of the biggest financial lies people believe is that keeping money in a savings account is safe. In reality, saving without investing guarantees financial loss. While a savings account may keep money secure from theft, it does not protect against the silent thief of inflation. If inflation is rising at 3% per year, and your savings account earns 1%, your money is actually losing value every single day. What seems like a safe option is actually a slow path to financial decline. The wealthy understand that money must be put to work. They don't rely on savings alone. They use their money to buy assets that generate income. Instead of just working for money, they make sure that money is working for them. A Stoic takes the same approach, understanding that financial security comes from owning income-producing assets rather than just accumulating cash. Investing doesn't have to be complicated. Many people think that they need to become financial experts or constantly watch the stock market to be successful investors. But this is a myth. The simplest and most effective investing strategy is to consistently invest in diversified assets over time. The best investors don't try to time the market. They simply buy and hold quality investments. One of the easiest ways to do this is through index funds, which allow you to invest in a broad selection of companies with minimal risk. Instead of trying to pick individual stocks, index funds spread your money across the entire market, reducing risk while still benefiting from long-term growth. Real estate is another powerful way to build wealth. Unlike stocks, real estate provides both cash flow and appreciation. Rental properties generate monthly income while increasing in value over time. While real estate requires more effort than stocks, it can be a great way to create passive income streams that support financial independence. A common excuse people make is that they don't have enough money to invest. But the truth is, you don't need a lot to start. Thanks to modern technology, you can start investing with as little as $50. Many investment apps allow you to invest small amounts and grow your portfolio over time. What matters is not how much you start with, but that you start. Every dollar you invest is a dollar that is working for your future instead of being wasted on unnecessary expenses. Investing is not about getting rich quickly. It's about building wealth slowly and steadily. The goal is not to chase short-term gains, but to create financial independence over time. The problem is that most people think about money in the short term. They focus on their next paycheck instead of the next decade. A Stoic thinks differently. They understand that wealth is built through patience, discipline, and a long-term perspective. Instead of worrying about daily market fluctuations, they focus on owning assets that generate wealth over time. The biggest regret of most people in their later years is that they didn't start investing sooner. They worked hard for decades only to realize too late that they had nothing to show for it. The people who build wealth are not necessarily those who make the most money. They are the ones who invest consistently and let their money grow. The choice is simple. Either your money works for you, or you will work for money for the rest of your life. The question is, will you keep delaying, or will you take control of your financial future today? Most people believe that saving money is enough to secure their financial future, but that's a dangerous myth. Keeping money in a bank account feels safe, but in reality it guarantees financial stagnation. If you are not investing, you are ensuring that you will work for money for the rest of your life. Inflation erodes the value of savings over time, making everything more expensive while your stored cash loses purchasing power. The only way to break free from the cycle of working endlessly for a paycheck is to make your money work for you. Many people avoid investing because they think it's complicated, risky, or only for the wealthy. They assume they need a large amount of money to get started or believe that the stock market is a gamble. These misconceptions keep people trapped in financial insecurity. The truth is, investing is not about luck. It's about strategy, patience, and discipline. Wealthy people don't build financial security by saving alone. They put their money into assets that generate more money. A Stoic understands this principle and focuses on long-term wealth building rather than short-term security. One of the most common mistakes is thinking that a savings account is enough. People work hard to build up their cash reserves, but they don't realize that inflation is silently destroying their purchasing power. If inflation rises by 3% annually and your savings account earns only 1%, your money is actually losing value every single year. What seems like a safe option is actually a slow financial decline. The only way to outpace inflation and grow wealth is through investing in assets that appreciate over time. Another major mistake is delaying investing. Many people assume they will start when they make more money or when they feel more financially stable. But the longer you wait, the more you lose in potential growth. The power of investing comes from compounding, where money grows over time, Someone who invests just $200 a month starting at 25 will accumulate far more than someone who invests $500 a month but starts at 40. Time is the most powerful factor in investing, and delaying is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. Some people fear investing because they have heard stories of market crashes and lost fortunes. They assume that investing is gambling, but history has proven that over the long term, markets recover and grow. While there are short-term fluctuations, those who stay invested always come out ahead. The real risk is not investing at all, because without investment you are guaranteeing financial dependence. A Stoic does not let fear dictate their financial choices. They understand that true risk comes from inaction, not from calculated decisions. The good news is that investing is simpler than most people think. One of the best ways to start is through index funds, which spread money across hundreds of companies, reducing risk while still capturing market growth. Unlike individual stocks, which can be unpredictable, index funds allow investors to benefit from broad market performance without needing deep financial expertise. This is why even legendary investors like Warren Buffett recommend them as the easiest and most effective strategy for building wealth. Real estate is another powerful investment tool. Unlike stocks, real estate provides both cash flow and long-term appreciation. Rental properties generate passive income while increasing in value over time. Many financially independent people have built their wealth through real estate investments, using rental income to replace their job earnings. While real estate requires more effort than stocks, it can be an excellent path to financial security. A common excuse people make is that they don't have enough money to invest. But the truth is, you don't need a lot to start. Many investment apps allow you to begin with as little as $50, and even small contributions grow over time through the power of compounding. The key is to start now, no matter how small. Every dollar invested is a step toward financial independence. Investing is not about getting rich quickly, it's about building wealth steadily and strategically. Most people think only in the short term, focusing on their next paycheck instead of the next decade. A Stoic takes a different approach, prioritizing long-term financial security over short-term pleasure. Instead of chasing fast money, they focus on owning assets that generate passive income and appreciate over time. One of the biggest regrets people have later in life is not starting sooner. They realize too late that they wasted years relying on a paycheck instead of making their money work for them. The people who build wealth are not necessarily those who earn the most. They are the ones who invest consistently, avoid emotional, financial decisions, and stick to a disciplined strategy. The choice is simple. Either your money works for you, or you work for money for the rest of your life. If you are not investing, you are making the latter choice. The question is, will you keep delaying or will you take control of your financial future today? Many people believe that avoiding financial risks keeps them safe. But in reality, playing it too safe is the riskiest move of all. Fear of losing money, fear of making mistakes, and fear of the unknown keep people stuck in the same financial position for years. They avoid investing, starting a business, or making bold financial moves because they are afraid of failure. But the biggest financial failure is doing nothing at all. Most people think of risk in the wrong way. They see investing in stocks, buying real estate, or starting a side business as dangerous, but they don't realize that staying in the same place financially is the real danger. Inflation, layoffs, economic downturns, and unexpected expenses can all wipe out savings and job security in an instant. Those who never take calculated risks end up relying entirely on a single paycheck, which is the most fragile financial position to be in. The safest strategy is not to avoid risk, but to manage it wisely. One of the biggest financial lies people believe is that keeping money in a savings account is a safe option. While it might protect against short-term losses, it guarantees long-term losses because of inflation. Money that sits in a bank account is constantly losing value. The longer you wait to invest, the more purchasing power you lose. A Stoic understands that avoiding risk does not mean avoiding action. It means taking smart, measured steps toward financial security. Fear of investing is one of the biggest obstacles to wealth. Many people think, what if the stock market crashes? What if I lose money? But history has shown that the market always recovers and grows over time. Those who invest regularly, even during downturns, end up with significantly more wealth than those who wait for the perfect time to start. The truth is, the perfect time never comes. A Stoic does not wait for ideal conditions. They take action based on logic and long-term thinking. Many people also fear starting a business because they worry about failure. But the real risk is depending on a single source of income. Jobs are not guaranteed. Industries change, and economic conditions shift. Having multiple income streams is one of the best ways to build financial security. Instead of fearing failure, a Stoic understands that failure is just a step toward success. Every successful entrepreneur and investor has experienced losses, but they use those experiences to improve. The only true failure is not trying at all. Another hidden financial risk is relying too much on one skill or profession. Many people assume that their job will always be there, but automation, globalization, and changing industries make no career 100% secure. The most financially stable, individuals constantly learn new skills, adapt, and create multiple income sources. Instead of fearing change, they embrace it as an opportunity. Taking financial risks does not mean being reckless. A Stoic does not gamble or chase unrealistic returns. They take calculated risks based on research, discipline, and patience. They invest consistently, build assets over time, and take strategic steps to create financial independence. They don't fear market fluctuations, career changes, or new opportunities. They prepare for them. In the end, avoiding risk does not protect you from financial hardship. It only guarantees that you will stay in the same place while the world moves forward. The people who build wealth and freedom are those who take action despite uncertainty. The question is, are you letting fear keep you broke, or are you willing to take smart risks to secure your financial future? Most people don't realize how much their financial decisions are controlled by society. They buy things not because they need them, but because they've been conditioned to believe that certain purchases define success. They take on debt to afford a lifestyle that looks good on the outside but keeps them financially trapped. Truth is, if you're not careful, society will dictate your spending and keep you broke. Social pressure is one of the most powerful forces shaping financial decisions. Advertisers, social media, and cultural expectations push people to spend on things that do not contribute to financial security. From a young age, people are taught that buying a house, driving a luxury car, and wearing designer brands are signs of success. They see influencers flashing expensive lifestyles, celebrities promoting luxury products, and peers upgrading their possessions, and they feel the need to do the same. But what no one talks about is how many people go into massive debt just to maintain the illusion of wealth. One of the biggest financial traps is buying things to impress others. Many people purchase expensive items not because they truly want them, but because they feel pressured to keep up with friends, colleagues, or social media trends. They take vacations they can't afford, finance cars that stretch their budget, and rent apartments in expensive neighborhoods just to maintain an image. But in reality, the wealthiest people don't waste money trying to look rich. They focus on actually becoming rich. A Stoic doesn't spend money to seek approval from others. They make financial decisions based on logic, not external validation. Another way society traps people financially is through the normalization of debt. Credit card companies, banks, and financial institutions push the idea that borrowing money is just a normal part of life. People finance everything: cars, furniture, electronics, and even daily expenses, without realizing that they are trading financial freedom for temporary convenience. What starts as a simple payment plan turns into a lifelong cycle of working to pay off interest instead of building wealth. A Stoic understands that debt is not a tool. It is a financial chain that limits future options. The fewer financial obligations you have, the more control you gain over your life. Marketing also plays a huge role in shaping spending habits. Companies spend billions of dollars studying human psychology to manipulate people into buying things they don't need. Sales tactics like limited time offers, discounts, and exclusivity create a false sense of urgency. Subscription services make people forget how much they are actually spending each month. Social media algorithms bombard users with ads tailored to their desires, making them believe they need the latest trends. A Stoic recognizes these manipulations and develops self-discipline to resist them. They ask themselves, do I really need this, or am I being emotionally influenced? Before making any purchase, they focus on value, necessity, and long-term impact. A major problem with letting society dictate financial choices is that it keeps people working harder for things that don't bring lasting happiness. Many people believe that if they just earn more, they will eventually be able to afford the lifestyle they desire. But what they don't realize is that lifestyle inflation keeps them in the same financial position, no matter how much they make. They spend every raise, every bonus, and every promotion on new expenses instead of increasing their savings and investments. The result? They keep working harder, but they never feel financially secure. A Stoic takes the opposite approach. Instead of upgrading their lifestyle with every increase in income, they upgrade their financial independence. They keep expenses low, invest the difference, and focus on long-term security instead of short-term pleasures. One of the most effective ways to break free from society's financial traps is to define success for yourself. Instead of letting external influences dictate what wealth looks like, a Stoic asks, what kind of life do I truly want? Many people assume that happiness comes from material things, but countless studies have shown that once basic needs are met, more money and more possessions do not increase life satisfaction. What actually brings long-term fulfillment is financial security, freedom from stress, and the ability to control one's time. Breaking free from social pressure requires intentional financial decisions. This means setting clear financial goals, questioning every expense, and refusing to spend just because everyone else is doing it. A Stoic develops the discipline to say no to unnecessary spending and yes to wealth-building opportunities. Instead of trying to impress others with purchases, they focus on creating a life where money is a tool for freedom, not validation. At the end of the day, financial independence is not about how much you earn. It's about how much control you have over your money. If you are constantly upgrading your lifestyle, going into debt, and spending based on social expectations, you are letting society control your financial destiny. But if you develop the discipline to resist these traps, live below your means, and invest wisely, you gain true freedom. The question is, are you making financial choices for yourself, or are you letting society make them for you? One of the biggest reasons people struggle financially is because they don't track their money. They work hard, earn a paycheck, and spend freely, without really knowing where their money is going. Then at the end of the month, they wonder why there's nothing left. If you don't track your money, you will always feel like it's slipping through your fingers. Most people assume they have a general idea of their expenses. They believe they know how much they're spending on groceries, entertainment, or subscriptions. But when they actually sit down and review their bank statements, they are shocked at how much they waste. It's not the big expenses that keep people broke. It's the daily, mindless spending that adds up over time. Small expenses seem harmless in the moment, but over the course of a year, they can drain thousands of dollars from your potential savings and investments. One of the most damaging financial habits is spending without a plan. Many people just pay their bills, spend on whatever feels necessary, and hope they have money left at the end of the month. But hope is not a strategy. Without a clear system in place, money will always find a way to disappear. A Stoic does not leave their financial future to chance. They take full control by knowing exactly how much is coming in, how much is going out, and where every dollar is going. Financial awareness is the foundation of financial success. Another major mistake is relying on memory to track expenses. People assume they will remember every purchase they make, but human psychology works against them. Studies show that people consistently underestimate how much they spend, especially on discretionary purchases like dining out, coffee, and online shopping. Credit cards make this even worse by distancing people from the feeling of spending real money. A Stoic understands that you cannot control what you do not measure. Keeping a detailed record of expenses is the first step toward making better financial decisions. Some people avoid tracking their finances because they are afraid of what they will find. They don't want to see the reality of their spending. Habits because it forces them to acknowledge their lack of control. But avoiding the truth does not make financial problems disappear. It only makes them worse. A Stoic does not fear reality. They embrace it, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Instead of ignoring financial problems, they confront them head-on, knowing that awareness is the first step to improvement. One of the most effective strategies for tracking money is the 30-day challenge. For 1 month, write down every single expense, no matter how small. This creates an immediate awareness of spending habits and highlights where money is being wasted. Most people who do this for the first time are shocked at how much they could be saving just by cutting unnecessary expenses. The simple act of tracking money reduces impulse spending because it forces accountability. When you know every purchase will be written down, you start thinking twice before spending. Another powerful strategy is the zero-based budget. This method ensures that every dollar has a purpose before the month even begins. Instead of spending freely and saving whatever is left, a zero-based budget assigns a job to every dollar, whether it's for rent, food, investments, savings, or personal expenses. This prevents wasted money and ensures that wealth building is prioritized before unnecessary spending. A Stoic takes this approach because they believe in intentional financial decisions rather than reactive spending. Technology makes tracking money easier than ever. Budgeting apps automatically categorize expenses and provide reports that show spending patterns. Setting up alerts for spending limits and automatic transfers for savings can remove the temptation to overspend. When money is tracked consistently, financial control becomes automatic. The key is to turn tracking into a habit, just like checking your phone or email. When you develop the habit of financial awareness, money stress disappears because you always know exactly where you stand. Tracking money is not about restricting spending, it's about creating freedom. Most people assume that managing finances means giving up fun. But the truth is, real financial stress comes from not knowing where your money is going. When you track your money, you gain confidence, eliminate unnecessary stress, and take full control over your financial future. Instead of feeling guilty about spending, you make decisions with full awareness. Instead of wondering where your money went, you tell it where to go. Financial freedom is not just about how much you earn, it's about how well you manage what you have. If you do not track your money, you will always feel like you don't have enough no matter how much you make. But the moment you start paying attention, you take back control. The question is, will you continue letting money slip through your fingers? Or will you start tracking and finally take charge of your financial future? Many people struggle financially not because they lack the ability to build wealth, but because they lack a clear plan. They wake up, go to work, pay bills, and repeat, without ever defining what financial success looks like for them. Without a clear goal and a structured plan, they remain stuck in the same cycle year after year, making the same money mistakes and wondering why nothing changes. If you don't have a financial roadmap, you will always feel lost. The biggest financial mistake people make is assuming that working hard will be enough to achieve wealth. Hard work is important, but without direction, it's like running on a treadmill. Constant movement, but no real progress. Seneca wrote, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." This means that if you don't have a clear financial goal, no amount of effort will bring you closer to financial independence. You might be making money, but without a plan, that money is not being used strategically. One of the biggest reasons people fail to build wealth is that they never take the time to define what financial success actually means to them. They assume that success means owning a big house, driving a luxury car, or reaching a specific income level. But those are just external symbols. True financial success is about control. Control over your time, your choices, and your future. If you don't define what enough means to you, you will always feel like you are falling behind no matter how much you earn. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." A Stoic takes full responsibility for their financial future by setting clear, achievable goals and creating a plan to reach them. A well-crafted financial plan includes 3 essential elements: earning, saving, and investing. Most people focus only on earning. They think that if they just make more money, everything else will take care of itself. But that's a trap. Plenty of high earners are still broke because they never learned how to manage their money. A Stoic understands that it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and how wisely you use it. They structure their finances so that every dollar has a purpose. They spend intentionally, save aggressively, and invest wisely, knowing that financial freedom is built through discipline, not luck. Another major mistake people make is not tracking their progress. They set vague financial goals but never check if they are actually moving forward. A Stoic operates differently. They measure, evaluate, and adjust. They review their spending, savings, and investments regularly, making sure that every action aligns with their ultimate goal. Without tracking, there is no real progress, just wishful thinking. Some people avoid creating a financial plan because they feel overwhelmed by the process. They assume financial planning is complicated, or they fear looking at their financial reality. But ignoring your finances does not make them better. It makes them worse. A Stoic does not run from discomfort. They face reality head-on. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." The first step to financial success is deciding what kind of future you want. The second step is taking action to build it. A successful financial plan must also be flexible. Many people create strict budgets or investment strategies but abandon them the moment life throws an unexpected challenge their way. A Stoic understands that adaptability is key to long-term success. Instead of rigidly sticking to a plan that no longer works, they adjust while staying committed to the bigger goal. Whether it's a job loss, a market crash, or a personal emergency, a Stoic remains calm, reassesses the situation, and makes the necessary changes. Finally, most people fail financially because they lack discipline. They set financial goals but don't stick to them. They start saving, then stop when something tempting comes along. They plan to invest but hesitate out of fear. The Stoic mindset teaches that discipline is the key to success in any area of life, including money. Seneca wrote, "He who indulges in empty fears earns himself real fears." Those who lack discipline end up in financial trouble, constantly stressed about money and living paycheck to paycheck. But those who commit to a long-term plan, who make financial discipline a daily practice, gain freedom, security, and peace of mind. At the end of the day, financial success is not about luck, intelligence, or even hard work. It is about having a plan and following it with discipline. Without a strategy, you will always be reacting to financial problems instead of preventing them. But with a clear goal, a structured plan, and the Stoic mindset to stay the course, financial freedom is not just possible, it is inevitable. The only question is, are you going to drift through life hoping things will work out? Or are you going to take control and create the financial future you deserve? One of the biggest reasons people stay broke is because they keep waiting for the right time to take control of their finances. They tell themselves that once they make more money, once they pay off debt, once they have a little more stability, then they will start saving, investing, and planning for their future. But that right time never comes. Life always presents new challenges, new expenses, and new reasons to delay. The harsh truth is this: if you don't take control of your money today, you never will. People procrastinate on their financial future because they believe they have time. But time is the most valuable financial asset you have, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. Every year you delay investing, you are losing out on potential wealth. $1 invested today is worth far more than $1 invested 10 years from now, thanks to the power of compounding. Someone who starts investing $200 a month at age 25 can end up with hundreds of thousands more than someone who starts at 35, even if the second person invests twice as much. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to catch up. Another reason people delay taking control of their finances is that they feel overwhelmed. They believe they need to know everything about investing, budgeting, or financial planning before they start. But waiting for the perfect knowledge is just another excuse. The truth is, you don't need to know everything. You just need to take the first step. Start small. Save a percentage of your income. Open an investment account and make your first contribution, no matter how small. The most successful investors and financially free individuals didn't start with all the answers. They started with action. A Stoic doesn't wait for perfect conditions. They act, adjust, and improve along the way. Fear is another reason people delay financial decisions. They worry about making the wrong investment, losing money, or facing unexpected financial hardships. But doing nothing is far riskier than making a few mistakes along the way. Inflation is eating away at your savings. Job security is never guaranteed. Emergencies can happen at any moment. By delaying financial responsibility, you are exposing yourself to far greater risks than any investment loss. Seneca reminds us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Most financial fears exist only in the mind. The key is to act despite them. Many people also delay financial responsibility because they believe they need more income before they can start saving or investing. But this is a dangerous mindset. If you can't manage $1,000, you won't manage $10,000. If you can't save when you make $50,000, you won't save when you make $100,000. The amount of money you have is not the problem. The way you handle it is. Financial success is built on discipline, not income. The sooner you develop good money habits, the sooner you break free from financial stress. Some people avoid financial planning because they believe they will always have time to fix things later, but later always turns into never. They assume they can start saving for retirement in their 40s, only to realize they have lost decades of growth. They assume they can pay off debt next year, only to find themselves deeper in financial trouble. They assume they will invest eventually, only to look back with regret when they see what they could have built. Time lost is wealth lost. A Stoic does not waste time hoping things will work out. They take full responsibility for their future, today. One of the most effective ways to break free from financial procrastination is to make small, consistent actions. Set up an automatic transfer to savings. Invest a small percentage of every paycheck. Set a financial goal and track progress. The key is to start now, no matter how small, and let momentum carry you forward. Waiting for the perfect moment will keep you broke forever. Taking action today, even imperfectly, is the only way to build lasting wealth. At the end of the day, financial freedom is not something that magically happens in the future. It is something you build right now with the choices you make today. If you keep waiting, you will look back years from now and realize that nothing has changed. But if you take control today, your future self will thank you for the financial security and independence you created. The question is, will you keep waiting for the right time, or will you take control of your financial future today? If you're ready to stop waiting and start taking real action toward financial freedom, subscribe to our channel today. Check out our playlist filled with powerful strategies that will help you build wealth, escape financial traps, and take control of your future. Click now, because your financial success starts today, not someday.